The magic of theater is not always best produced by professionals. 3 years ago, I met a bunch of Aboriginals in the northern tropics of Australia. Nobody could guess that 3 years later, we would own our own theater, and the show that we wrote would become the longest running play in the history of Australian theater, and that we would take that show on tour around the world.
So you are promoting Las Vegas. Is this out of Dan Scale's dance over there?
Just promoting Las Vegas in general, but I dance on the show.
Yeah, we're dancers too.
Are you dancers too?
Yeah.
Are you dancing?
Yeah, we're dancing at the Hotel Burge tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Gee, that's
And then we're off to Frankfurt tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, that's fantastic. It was lovely meeting you.
Bye-bye.
Richard.
Standing by, follow spot, downstage left. We stand by flight Q1, and all cues together, and go.
For you people out there who never seen an Aboriginal before, well, you're looking at us.
For most of these dancers, this would be the first time that they would be leaving their little rainforest village of Kuranda. And in spite of the months of organization that we had put in on this tour,
Could you cue that for us, please?
well, frankly, I was still a little bit worried. To them, living their whole life up in the rainforest in North Queensland, America only really existed as as a TV show. And then to suddenly find themselves in Texas, it was like stepping onto the set of Dallas Live.
This has been one of their first performances, as far as I know, right here in America. And we are certainly proud to have them. We are honored to have them. So join me in welcoming something that's going to be a unique event and something that you'll carry the treasure the memories of, not only now but forever. The Tjapukai Dance Theater.
As the show's director, what I tried to do was to give the audience a glimpse of who these people really are, mixing the raw energy that's in the traditional Aboriginal dance with the natural humor, which is equally traditionally Aboriginal.
Well, America was really interesting. In Alabama, the black Americans really enjoyed the show, but I think at first they were a bit nervous because they saw our traditional dancing. That reminded them of their past. And that's something that they'd rather forget about. But as soon as Sonny came out and said, "G'day,"
G'day! G'day! We are the Tjapukai dance troupe from Australia, far north Queensland. Anyway, for you people out there who have never seen an Aboriginal before, you're looking at us.
I think that's the turning point in the show. And they soon realised that we were, part of the 1990s as well.
Yeah.
And just hadn't climbed out of a tree like a monkey. And that's, they got right into it.
Yeah.
Suddenly, these painted warriors become quite human. And well, after that, the audience is with them all the way.
We like to think our show is very professional. I mean, our show is very different, but that's okay. It's not every day you see an Australian Aboriginal walking downtown Texas. But the media, they just go over the top sometimes.
Eye on SA with Chris Maroon.
The TV's got to be the worst. They don't know who you are, they don't know where you've come from, and probably forget that you've existed 5 minutes after you've left. But publicity is part of the act, and we all realize that. I could never seem to get the media to talk directly to the dancers. They always wanted me to be the interpreter. So here I am, an American, trying to explain to America what it's like to be an Aboriginal.
The Aboriginal culture has been in Australia for at least 50,000 years. The Tjapukai is an Aboriginal tribe in the Australian rainforest, and the Tjapukai Dance Theatre was formed to preserve the dances and skills of Aborigines in the region. They are performing
It's
in
ridiculous.
San Antonio as part of the San Antonio.
There they are. They're sitting right there, and they speak English. Okay, well, probably the most unique of the instruments is the didgeridoo. The didgeridoo is probably the oldest non-percussion instrument in the world. It dates back over 40,000 years.
Let's hear what that sounds like. Oh, is that like a harmonica, a little bit?
Well, no, it's just a hollow, it's basically a hollow log.
You can play any tune on the leaf. I think this leaf is out of tune. My name is Stephen, and this is a didgeridoo, Aboriginal wood instrument. And the Aboriginal word for didgeridoo, well, we just say didgeridoo. Anyway, people ask me all the time, why do you call this thing a didgeridoo? Do you know why? Listen to the sound I make. Just imagine a large kangaroo hopping down the road.
Our home is in the northern tropics of Australia. We're a rainforest tribe. And we're Aboriginal people, and we're very strong in families. And for us to go away for 2 months, that's a long time. And the dance group, well, that's named after our tribe, Tjapukai. But Kuranda is a place where a lot of people come to visit us from all over the world.
When I first came to Kuranda, it was already a popular tourist spot.
Nearly all the small rural communities have a traditional dance troupe. And once a year, they come together to perform their dances at a place called Laura.
I recognized that there was no representation of the Aboriginal culture. And yet this was the home of the oldest living culture on Earth. So I got together with a young Tjapukai tribal member who was already working as a didgeridoo player and performer. And together we created a show which we started off in a small theater in a basement in the town of Kuranda.
Well, the dances we perform are all based on a traditional style of dancing. So we've had to re-choreograph, so to speak, both for the stage and for the sort of international tourists that come to visit us here in Kuranda. Well, it's been almost 3 years since we've done our shows down in the basement. And it's been really great now because we've now built our $1 million theatre, which isn't bad for a bunch of blackfellas who up until a few years ago, most people would say we're unemployable.
The success of this show was phenomenal. And Kuranda turned out to be exactly the right place to do it.
Well, the other great thing about living in Kuranda is that most of the whites that live there are now interested in our culture. And we've now more or less become an example to the rest of Australia. But to me, you know, Kuranda's it's a village in the rainforest. It's a great place, and why shouldn't it be? It's my home.
Unlike the rest of Australia, here there was relatively little prejudice.
Yeah, the Americans in the South sure know how to have a good time. Like a festival, well, that was just deadly. people there, they just made us feel right at home.
Oh, yeah. San Antonio style.
Cholesterol free.
Crab salad. Guarantee you'll come back for more.
Prejudice is a part of an Aboriginal's life. And going from Kuranda to Texas, well, they didn't have any idea what to expect.
But it was a real eye-opener, seeing people having a ball. And not only that, I've never seen a drunken fella there.
To me, alcoholism has been the Aboriginals' greatest problem. One of the strongest lessons I've learned is that when pride of culture returns, drunkenness recedes.
Well, a lot of credit for the show must go to my business partner, Don Freeman.
If you turn off all the top lights and you just leave the fluorescence under the balcony, it's not there.
He's from New York, he's lived in Europe, he's lived in India, and he's brought a lot of professionalism into the show. And I know a lot of people have become interested in our ancient culture, but you know, culture's a living thing. It doesn't have to be serious all the time.
We're gonna rock around with my mind. Well, the clock strikes 2, 3, and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock across the line.
No food for a week. My thoughts too bright to speak. If the plans for you, we be eating English, we got the low food. I'm so hungry.
People accuse us of introducing too much razzmatazz into the show. But this blues number was written and devised by the guys themselves. What we have here is Australian black men imitating music that was introduced to them by white men, who in turn actually stole it from the African blacks. Well, that is the American Negroes. Now that is living culture.
And if you can't catch no jugger, and if you can't catch no jugger, you know Tjapukai. Ooh, yeah.
America was weird, mate. Like, one of the younger brothers, he thought the black Americans were like us. Then I had to explain to him, I said, look, the Americans, they come from Africa. They went over and got them to work as slaves on their corn paddocks and their cotton paddocks. So he said, oh, so they had a hard time too? I said, yeah. So what he done, he went up to one bloke on the street, and he walked up to this big black fella. He reckons, what, you had a hard time too, fella? And that fella just looked at him as if he was nuts, and just jumped in this big Cadillac. Off he went, yeah. Mind you, if we're short on American history, but the fact is, they know nothing about us.
Beauty, mate.
There's no question but that the Aborigines are a subjected race. Their cultural values have been totally destroyed. How ironic it is that their first view of an integrated culture with black people in positions of real authority should be in Birmingham, Alabama.
This used to be Ku Klux Klan territory. And the surprising thing is, the mayor of Birmingham is black.
We here in Birmingham pay a tribute to the very fine people who are friends of this nation, the people of Australia.
They get their power from politics and religion running side by side. And they're sort of proud of this. Like they insisted we go to church with them one Sunday. And we did. And I never ever seen nothing or heard nothing like that in my own life.
Australia is on the other side of the world, as you know, you understand. But we have some native Australians who've come. They are the Aborigines of Australia. We've read about them in our magazines, and let's greet them.
On behalf of our country, I am just happy to say that it's a great feeling to be here and listening to the song, what you sing here. It's very touching. And the people of Birmingham have been really great to us so far. And I just want to thank you all for letting us share this moment with you. Thank you.
Difficult for these young men who are trying so hard to come to terms with the modern world, to accept that what the modern world wants from them is their primitiveness. But that is their strength, and for the time being at least, that is their road to success.
Yeah, it's when we're treated as a freak show. You know, you can imagine the questions people ask us, like, do you still eat people? I mean, do you eat people? Oh, yeah, I had a bit of Chinese last night. But, I mean, you have to laugh. But in the end, it's on the stage that we really show people what we're all about.
And here's a song we wrote about learning to live together in harmony. Learn the words, it's a good song.
50,000 years we lived in peace, a land of man was free to wander. 50,000 years in the spirit of dreamtime, the white man came and pulled it down under. The white man came and pulled it down under.
200 years ago, the white fellow found a land he thought that no one owned. Spears can't fight, guns and dynamite. The white man came and pulled it down under.
The white man came and pulled it down under. Proud to be Aborigine, will never die. Tjapukai, always be our identity. Proud to be Aborigine.
You change your ways, our laws, our land. That's something we can't understand. Black and white have got to unite, or there'll be nothing left in the land down under.
Nothing left in the land down under.
Well, I know that people come to see our culture. I mean, after all, it's one of the oldest living cultures on Earth. But I'd also like to think that when we travel overseas, we're not only ambassadors for our people, but we're also ambassadors for white Australians as well.
Lady, she made me nervous. She took me
America, we were a hit. But as an American, I sort of expected that. I know my audience. And there's no country in the whole world that's better at the mixing of races than America. But my sense of pride was tempered by a deep-seated worry. Now we were going to Asia, and I was uncertain of the reception we would get there. I feared that the Asians would not be as quick to romanticize a primitive culture.
Be over there somewhere where we're staying. Shows you how big Singapore is.
Well, Singapore, that was an amazing place. A real mixture of cultures there. Like the Chinese, the Arabs, the Indians, and even the Westerners. And like, performing in front of those people was not a problem. They could understand what our show was all about. Like living in harmony, as well as retaining your own culture. And they found it easy to understand.
Check, check. 1, 2, check. Check!
It's queued up ready, so as soon as you're ready, take it from Jeffrey's queue.
Somehow, our show was able to transcend both systems of integration, the melting pot of America and the respect for cultural independence in Asia.
We lived in peace, a land of man was free to wander. 50,000 years in the spirit of dreamtime, the white man came and pulled it down under. The white man came and pulled it down under. 200 years ago, the white fellow found a land he thought that no one owned. Spears can't fight, guns and dynamite. The white man came and pulled it down under. The white man came and pulled it down under.
There's a simple Aboriginal legend built into the show that tells the story of how our tribal brother was accused of stealing the fire sticks. He's abandoned by the rest of the tribe, but later they discover it was one of the Quincan spirits that actually stole the sticks. So after this, we are reunited once again as a tribe.
The show itself is very much a joint effort between myself and David Hudson, the lead dancer, and of course, the rest of the company.
That's tough, that's mine. Yeah, well, I didn't realize it was yours. Just picking up whatever was on stage, man.
Hey, they wouldn't mind. You had to stuck it out to be mandate.
An around the world tour is not just the performances. You live together, you eat, you sleep, you work, play together. Sometimes the stress is enormous. But in spite of their inexperience, And many of these guys had never seen a stage a couple of years ago. They showed a professionalism as complete as I would have expected from the most experienced theater companies. To say I was proud of them would be an understatement. Frankfurt, Geneva, Dusseldorf, Hamburg, Brussels, Bern, Zurich in 7 days. The pace was frenetic. When we hit Europe, I would have expected an even greater cultural shock for the guys. But the raw energy they demonstrated on stage was tempered with a highly philosophical interest in the various cultures that they encountered. Their ability to take everything in their stride never ceased to amaze me.
Tell you I could live here 6 months of the year. All right, eh? Well, the thing that really gets me about Europe is the age. I mean, a building back home in Australia that's 100 years old is considered old. I mean, over here, I mean, age is a building that's about 700 years old, 800 years old. That's old. And I doubt very much whether the buildings back home are going to last as long. And it's sad in a way because there's not going to be much value left behind us. Well, it's pretty amazing to think that, you know, just 70 years ago, my people were still living in the Stone Age. Well, we've had to travel very fast to come to terms with white man's culture. And I think it's a really big credit to us, the way we've caught up in such a short time. You know, for us, it was a real privilege to see Europe and all the incredible sights it's got to offer. But for us, it was even better to feel that we were giving them a small insight into our culture.
And they did, with a vibrance that left audiences throughout Europe quite spellbound.
The rainforest people walk their land. Tjapukai! As we walk on our hunting ground, look over there. Our ancestors are buried and resting. I feel strong. I can touch food.
Okay, standing by for a crossfade in 5 seconds to full wash, coming up in around 30.
The Aboriginal people have an extraordinary inbuilt social confidence.
Tjapukai means rainforest.
I think their lack of inhibition is probably one of their most endearing qualities.
Very good.
Sorry.
Together, forward. No, don't. How did she end up with him?
No, actually.
Money, that's what it is. Money.
That's why.
Fuck, I just want all this money. I got 4 of them. 4 hearts.
Good one, Denga. Thank you.
Good morning. Hi. Can you tell me where a wash salon is from here?
What?
A wash salon, a laundromat?
Yes.
Where is one from
here? You go here straight on, and then over the street is a yellow shop.
Dry cleaning. Is there a wash salon around here?
Yeah, and then you go along the street to the church on the other side.
Well, any tour is a matter of teamwork. You know, everyone has their bit to do. The show was a main thing, of course, but sometimes people forget, well, the detail that backs a good performance. I mean, someone has to do the laundry.
Simply, what had to be done got done. That's the way it was. And occasionally we got an hour or two to be tourists as well.
Germany, well, that was a bit of a surprise. Like, I thought we'd be doing the show in front of business people and people like that. Well, that wasn't the case at all.
An alternative festival in Germany was yet another totally new experience for everybody. Yet even here, they were able to spin their magic, retaining both their humor and their professionalism. Scenery's up, the tent is packed full of people.
Jetzt geht's um den Dialog. Der hat heute auch schon zum Teil funktioniert mit Hunderten von Leuten bei Tanz. So, Tjapukai, ein zum ersten Mal Europa bereisendes Tanztheater aus Australien. Viel Spaß mit Tjapukai.
Guten Tag! Thank you. We are the Grand Tjapukai Dance Theatre. We are the Australian Aboriginals. So, for you people out there who have never seen an Aboriginal before, well, you're looking at us. I'd like to explain how we are culturally dressed. Here is a headband made from cabbage palm leaves, which is woven into string. You can decorate it with emu feathers, parrot feathers, also shells and bones. And here is a lap-lap.
Well, every audience is different. Sure, but not that different. I think the thing about our show is that people take our show for what it really is. And I think the biggest leveler of all is humour.
You blow down the didgeridoo and suck air through your nose at the same time. Recycling, like this. A lot of people think that our culture is dead in Australia. But here we are, living proof in minds that we are alive and well.
For any theatre group to tour the world and perform 58 times in 60 days is going some. I really believe that it's the close family relationship amongst these dancers that sustain them. I believe they could have done 108 performances, let alone 58. One of the questions which often arises is, what's a Jewish American boy like you doing running an Aboriginal dance group? Well, it's a question I often ask myself, usually about 4 o'clock in the morning. I believe it has something to do with the fact that as an American, I could see how the rest of the world wanted to know about the Aboriginal culture. Whereas white Australians, if anything, are embarrassed by their very existence. After all, the original white Australians did a pretty good job of almost getting rid of them altogether.
Did you do Mike Can Be Live now?
The show's been going great. In fact, on the whole tour, there's been hardly any problems.
No. What about in Frankfurt? No, Zurich. That's when Neville went out on Walkabout.
I've called the police station. Yeah. He hasn't sort of turned himself in as being lost.
He had to have gone that way. Did you tell Neville a place to go or anything like that? Or where it was great? Or...
But apparently Daniel told him to come back by 11 o'clock.
10 o'clock?
I'm going to be here at 10.
We're at the airport. We were going from there to London. That's when the panic really set in.
Among some of us.
Going walkabout is a uniquely Aboriginal trait.
Went for a walk in the morning and he didn't take one out of the hotel.
One of the dancers, Neville, decided one morning to walk out of the hotel at 5 a.m.
And he just couldn't get back. He couldn't find the way back. I drove up and down every street. We walked up all the little alleys, but we could easily have missed him, so easy.
He may have met a nice young Swiss lady and decided to live here.
I felt him wandering around lost, that he just couldn't find the way back.
Yeah.
I really felt it.
So we'll don't stay until he finds him.
Yep.
Yeah. So we see if we bring him.
We had the weirdest taxi driver. All he wanted to do was show me the sights of Zurich. I said, please, we're looking for Missy. He says, now, I'll take you to the statue of Rodin. I said, yeah, it's lovely.
He said it's like we're going
maybe he's there. I said, no, he's not a sightseer.
The extraordinary thing was the reaction of David, my partner. At no time did he ever doubt that Neville would finally turn up. As indeed he did. Well, the story is beyond belief. He finally found somebody that would speak English, so he decided he would go to the airport, right, and try to meet us at the airport. So they told him, you have to get on the train and go 3 stops, and then you're at the airport. So he got on the tram and went 3 stops and got off in front of the hotel. Okay. You believe that one? There he was.
Yeah. What did you even think of?
Sleeping in the bush tonight.
Good shows here too, eh? Theatre shows.
Yeah, I think there's up to 50 theatre shows on the go all at once. In about an hour's time it gets really busy.
So what do the locals think of the royalty?
They spend a lot of money on them.
Yeah.
All the tourists love them. Usually I get people just asking me to drive around Buckingham Palace for half an hour.
Yeah?
Just drive round and round.
Or get out and have a photo with the guards, that sort of stuff.
All that sort, all the guards. I love it.
So this is the famous Savoy, eh? We're going to do a show here. Thanks, mate. See you later. The Savoy's got to be the smartest hotel in London. And I don't think the guests really knew what they were in for. I think at first they just thought we were a bunch of natives doing our thing. And it bothered them for a while. But it's strange about the so-called Guerrilla Brigade that they never expected us natives to have a sense of humour.
And if you want to practice on a didgeridoo, but you can't find the real fair dinkum one, real didgeridoo, well, grab this little fella. PVC.
It was really amazing. It didn't matter if it was an alternative festival in Germany or a black tie dinner at the Savoy Hotel in London. They would simply walk in and win them over. They seemed to have an instinct for correct social behavior, no matter what the occasion. The almost constant traveling seemed to take little toll on most of the guys. And each new place was approached with the sort of calm one simply wouldn't expect even from veteran troopers.
Nice golden beaches.
Morecambe in the English Midlands could have been dull and depressing. But even in this climate, somehow the dancers reproduce the warm sunshine from their home country.
Over the 2 months of the tour, we would have done 58 performances, and not one single performance was missed by one of the blokes. So it just goes to show that if you give us a chance, we can do it. Because it really makes me wild when people label Aboriginals as being lazy and can't do it. Just give us a chance. We'll show you. I think the highlight has got to be here tonight. I mean, here we are performing at the Shore Theatre in the West End of London. I mean, I've just been told by the manager that our show tonight is fully booked out. What? And the management has even asked us to stay for an extended season. Well, I mean, there's no chance of that because we've got our own theatre back home. But, I mean, it's just an honour to be asked anyway. And to have a fully booked out house in the West End of London, the theatre capital of the world. I mean, that's not bad for a bunch of blackfellas who apparently were unemployable 3 years ago. And I mean, tonight has got to be the highlight of the tour for all of us. And this has got to be the proudest moment of my life. We're going. Bye.
"50,000 years we lived in peace, a land of man was free to wander. 50,000 years in
The most extraordinary part for me was watching the guys grow in stature, both as performers and as people.
The white fellow found a land he thought that no one owned. Spears can't fight guns and dynamite.
From show to show, town to town, and country to country, their power increased.
Proud to be Aborigine, will never die. Tjapukai, always be our identity. Proud to be Aborigine.
You change your ways, our laws, our land. That's something we can't understand. Black and white have got to unite, or there'll be nothing left in the land. Done, undone.
Nothing left in the
The real value of the voyage, however, is what they bring back to their people. especially the children. Hopefully, their experience will shortcut the time it takes to see the Aboriginal people into their modern era.
I learn from you, you learn from me. We can't afford another blunder. Together we can live in harmony. Be as brothers in the land down under. Be as brothers in the land down under. Proud to be Aborigine. Will never die. Tjapukai. I'm proud to be Aborigine. Will never die. Tjapukai. Always be our identity. Proud to be Aborigine.